It's summer of 2023. I'm in the garden of a house of mine, trying to work, but there's a problem. There's noise all around me. Noise, and noise, and more noise. And the source of this noise is my family. Beside me are my brother, my sister, and my mother. Now, I try to keep focusing to work hard, but I'm slowly starting to get frustrated. The more I have to focus back on my work, the more frustrated I get. And I start to get even a little bit resentful towards my family, even though they did nothing wrong. I thought I should keep going, keep going. But at some point, I just crack. So I pick up my laptop, pick up my book, and 2 minutes later, I'm back to work. But there's a difference. I'm now way more focused. And I'm now alone. I'm now in the kitchen. And in 30 minutes of deep work in the kitchen, I got more done in 1.5 hours of shadow work, the distracted environment. If you're a knowledge worker, your ability to go deep and enter a flow state while working on your craft is probably one of, if not your best asset. I couldn't do it in the past. I greatly struggled to do deep work, and it's only really recently that I've become where I can say a good deep worker. To be honest, I've been really proud of the deep work I've been doing the last 3 days. I've been waking up at 5 a.m. and doing 3 hours of deep work in the first 3 hours of the day, and it's making me really proud of myself. I've been getting a lot done, and it's just very. You just impress yourself with your performance because you truly can't succeed in this modern age if you can't focus. Even in the past, it was probably harder, but nowadays it's easier if you're focused because so many people lack focus and attention. So many people get distracted so fast. You don't have any ability to just stay focused on a craft. So if you can stay focused, or if you want to learn how to stay focused, then you're definitely on the right path. You're not taught how to do deep work in school, even though it's so important for almost all the jobs that we're sent into. It's just such an important skill, but we never taught that in school. We never taught, oh yeah, how to do deep work for your studies. We never taught how to use deep work for your future work, your future job. We never taught this. I was never taught this in school. I had to learn by researching through amazing books like Deep Work, podcasts from Andrew Huberman, Hamza, some smart ass people that are way smarter than me. And I've learned from them to make this video, and it greatly helped with my deep work, my focus, with my attention, my ability to talk, record videos in the flow state, script some amazing videos. So the first one is sleep. How well you slept the previous night will literally, like, trust me when I say this, will literally impact every single aspect of your life. Every single aspect. It will affect your energy levels, how hungry you are throughout the day, how how social you are, how anxious you are, how happy you are, your mental health, how focused you are. To be totally honest, I have not been sleeping that well the last 2 days, and it's totally my fault. I haven't been following my nightly routine. I haven't been doing the things that truly optimize my sleep in the last few days, and I deserve to have bad sleep because I haven't been doing the things that would get me good sleep the last 2 days. And I'll just try to. I will from this night on. I promise myself I will start doing those things again. Doing my night routine well, stretching for 5 minutes, doing my deep breathing that I always do that helps me greatly with my sleep, doing all those things so I can go to bed and have a great night of sleep and then come here and record videos, script videos to the maximum of my ability, maximum of my cognitive ability. Sleep is so important, so important. And I just want to quickly give you some tips to greatly improve your sleep. So the first one, go to bed at the same time every night. Wake up around the same time every morning. So I get to go to bed at 8 p.m. I know it's early, but I wake up at 5 a.m. That's why. And I'm probably going to wake up even earlier when school starts again in 27 days. Or, yeah, 27, yeah, 26 days. And yeah, when school starts again, I'm gonna start waking up at 4 a.m. so that I can get the 2 hours of deep work done before I have to prepare for school. Right now, I don't have school. It's summer holidays, so I'm really happy. So I can work. I I know I can get a lot done in the next 20, 25, 26 days. I'm just gonna work hard. When school starts again, I'm gonna wake up even earlier. But wake up at the same time around the same time every morning. The most important thing, go to bed, be in bed around the same time every night. Every night. It's not like, oh yeah, on weekdays I go to bed at this time and then on weekends I go to bed. No, that's not healthy for your sleep. Your body has something that we could call an internal clock. And when you go to bed at this time on this day, and then another time, another day, you're disturbing this internal clock. So go to bed at the same time every night. Wake up around the same time every morning. I wouldn't recommend you have like an alarm that just rings in the middle, like that just randomly rings when you if you like normal recommend you have like a normal alarm that when you put, oh yeah, waking up at 5 a.m. it starts ringing exactly at 5 a.m. regardless of if you were in deep sleep or not. There are some good alarms like Sleep Cycle, that's what I use. And Sleep Cycle, basically, it will not, you can't really say, okay, wake me up at 5 a.m. You can do it, but there's also an option where you can say, wake me up between 5 a.m. and 5:30. And it will wake you up in the period between both those times where you are not in deep sleep. Because being awakened while you're in deep sleep, in REM sleep, it's really not good. Really not good. To have an alarm like Sleep Cycle, if you think you can wake up yourself, if you think you can wake up without an alarm around the same time every morning, then do it. Yeah. But I don't think there are many people that can do that. Now that I'm used to my alarm to waking up at 5 a.m., I think I could do that now because I've now I this morning I woke up at 4:55 before my alarms ring. I stayed in bed until it rings. But this morning and even last morning, I did the same thing. Was the same thing. Another tip is sleep in a totally dark room. That's something I'm not doing correctly recently because I don't have some good things, some good, the thing that you put some good window covers. Even when I put them down, the things that like make the room dark through covering the windows in my room. Then even when I put them down, like this, the light of the sun, the light outside still comes in my room into my room. So I bought some new ones. So yeah, you're gonna start using them. But it's very important during the night. You shouldn't see light. It's really not good for you. Your body will it's not good for your body. In the morning, get sunlight. Another tip, when you wake up, get sunlight in the first 30 minutes to 1 hour. That's what I do. I woke up this morning, got out of bed, went to the toilet, put my clothes on, opened my window literally, put a time of 3 minutes and looked at the sun outside. Look not don't look like directly at the sun like this, but look kind of at the words wasn't directly to the point where your eyes hurt. The sun wasn't really that up, like there was already light outside, but the sun wasn't like really. I couldn't really see the sun because it's very early. But yeah, and have a night routine. Have a routine that helps us to unwind. For me, I stretch. I first brush my teeth. I stretch. Then I do some deep breathing. Then I do something a little bit weird, but Kegel exercises. Yeah. The next thing is diet and fasting. Something you might not know is that a high carb diet, carbs in general, are not optimal for like your brain performance. Carbs, carbohydrates, they're not like they won't optimize your brain performance. After eating carbs, try doing some work, some more focused work after eating carbs, especially a food with high carbs. It's very difficult. It's not that easy. It's not easy at all. So really, if you're in a phase of life where you really focus on work, where you really focus on working on your business, or you can even do this if you want for your whole life, don't have like a high carb diet. If you focus on fitness, of course, do that. But if you focus really on work, mental capacity, cognitive, high demand work, then don't have a high carb diet. I don't have total control of this because my mom is the one that cooks. But what I have control over is if I fast or not. That's the next trick. Fasting is literally I didn't understand this when I first got into business and productivity. But fasting is one of the best tools for focus and optimal brain performance. Literally, listen to me when I say this is one of the best. Combined with one of the next trick I'm going to give you, this is genuinely you genuinely go to 10 times to 100 times the productivity if you're not using them yet. It's genuinely powerful. When you're in a fasted state, like I heard from Andrew Huberman, I can't explain that well, but Andrew Huberman is a really smart man, a neuroscientist, and he explains that when you eat, when you have you digesting food, you have like all those little kind of receptors or neurons that are sent to your stomach, uh, yeah, to digest, and that's why your brain can't focus when you can't focus as well when you have food. That's why there's such a level of clarity when you fasted. That's why I fast. I have literally 2 meals a day right now, 1 to 2 meals a day, and I have my first meal literally scheduled at 2:30 p.m. because I want to really those first hours really optimize my work. But that first meal then I eat a lot because yeah, I don't want to like get super skinny and lose all my muscle. So in that first meal of the day at 2:30 I eat a lot. And if I have another meal, I will also eat a lot. But fasting is something when you do that for a long time, you get really used to it. I know it might sound scary for some people, but genuinely, after a few times of fasting, you will be able to fast for a long time without really having any trouble. You kind of get used to having that feeling a little bit of hunger because firstly your brain and your body knows that you're gonna eat later on, and yeah, you get used to it. Right now, in the past, when I get hungry, I would like start to get like a little bit like I was such like lose focus when I was too hungry. But now my body and my mind has gotten very used to just being a little bit hungry. And sometimes I don't even feel that hungry when I'm fasting, when I'm fasting for literally 9 hours. Like I wake up at 5 a.m. I have my first meal at 4:30, so it's literally 9 hours of fasting, 9.5 hours of fasting. And it's so beneficial to my work. So beneficial to my work. So take this seriously. Fasting is one of the best tools, best productivity tools, best optimal brain performance tools. And fasting also has other health benefits. Even if you don't want to fast, you don't have to fast for like for me for 9.5 hours first thing in the morning. that if you at least want to reap the health benefits from fasting, even if you're not focused on work, try to not eat your first meal 1 hour. Um, Eat your first meal at least 1 hour after waking up. It's not good for your body. That would feel healthy to eat your first meal directly after waking up. So wait at least 1 hour before eating your first meal of the day, and then eat your last meal 2 hours or preferably 3 hours prior to bed. If you do at least do those two things, at least just you get at least the health benefits from fasting. Another thing, eat the meals like sleeping. Eat your meals around the same time every day. That's something I'm not doing that well because when my mom cooks dinner, it's not exactly the same time every day, every night, every evening. Sometimes we cook dinner at 5. Sometimes we cook dinner at 4. Sometimes we cook dinner at 6. So yeah. But I mostly, when my mom cooks dinner and I want to eat it after I want to eat second meal of the day, I eat it after my second deep work session at that finishes at 8. No, it finishes at 7 p.m. Another thing is mindfulness. Mindfulness is the skill of staying in the present, staying in the present moment, being it's like kind of being focused on the task at hand, being in the here instead of being your thoughts, overthinking. So the best the best habit, the best tool, in my opinion, I wouldn't say my opinion, but that has multiple times been proven to optimize mindfulness and focus is meditation. To be honest, for a long time, I've been meditating for a long time, and I haven't really. I think for a long time, it's only recently that I started doing it correctly. But for a long time, I wasn't doing it correctly. So I'm not that surprised I wasn't getting the benefits. But I've been really doing it a lot recently. Like, I've been improving how I meditate recently. I wasn't doing it correctly, so you have to do it right. So mindfulness meditation is basically trying to give you focus on one part of the present moment, something on the present moment, and your brain won't stay totally focused on it. The goal of meditation is every time your brain goes elsewhere, bring it back to the thing on the present moment that you're focusing on. So one basic thing they can do is literally focus on your breathing, focus on your breathing in and out, and then 10 seconds later or 15 seconds later, your brain's gonna think about something else. When it does, bring it back to your breath. That's basically it. Or if you're focusing on the feeling of sitting, for example, your brain has sometimes going to think about something else. Bring it back to that feeling of the chair on on your ass, or your ass on the chair. Meditation is like a lot of the neuroscientists, the smart people, the scientists, they say that's very beneficial. I know a lot of people that have gotten a lot of benefits from meditation, and I hope to get those benefits too. Or maybe I got those benefits, but I didn't really realize it because my focus has drastically improved. But I sometimes I think I attribute it to something else, but it might genuinely be meditation. It probably is. Meditation has probably a big role to play in how focused I am now. So yeah, take it seriously. And another thing, meditation is useless if you constantly do things that destroy your mindfulness and focus. If you constantly going on social media, watching TikTok, watching YouTube shorts, playing video games, doing all those super stimulated activities, watching some super edited, super short videos on YouTube. If you do that consistently, then it's very extremely useless for you to meditate. Then you won't reap any benefits. Because it's as if it's like it's as if you are building a building, and every time after every session of working on this building, we're then destroying the base with a hammer. That's basically it. What you're doing when you meditate and then go watch social media and do all these things that destroy your mindfulness. It's basically as if you were working on the building, and every time, a few hours later, after having the session where you work really hard on this building, you start to stick your hammer and destroying it. That's basically what you're doing. Most people don't. Some people realize it, but a lot of people don't. TikTok, those really short, edited, stimulating, super stimulating videos, they are not good for your attention. They're not good for your focus. They're not good for your ability to be present, be here in the moment. So if you spend hours on TikTok, hours on social media, hours on video games, hours watching some random movies, don't be surprised that the attention span is at the end of the day extremely shit. That's not a surprise. If you do the things that show your attention span and focus, then you will get the consequences of those actions. And it is bad attention span, inability to focus, inability to do deep work for more than 2 minutes, inability to talk to a family member without your brain going elsewhere. That's it. You need to be focused. And to be focused, you will need to make sacrifices. And I wouldn't call this sacrifice because after some time, those things have been proven to even make you happy and more unhappy. When you can stimulate your brain with those social medias and video games and everything, every time you do it, that's a basic science. I'm going to explain it in like really basic words, the science of what happens with your dopamine every time you do that. So dopamine is basically the hormone of cravings, of wants. And if your dopamine is low, you'll basically be unhappy, unmotivated to do anything. So imagine this: you're about to watch video games. So what happens? You get a spike, and then you finish playing video games. It goes down, but here is the baseline. It doesn't go back down when you play video games or do any of this super similar activity. It doesn't go back down to baseline. It goes back down below baseline, a little bit below baseline. Every time you do it, the same process happens again with every habit. The bigger like you get this boost of dopamine when you engage in the habit, overstimulate a habit, the bigger the crash and the lower perhaps baseline your new book of dopamine is gonna be. Having this overstimulated lifestyle where you just focus on stimulating your brain to the most of your ability will make you very unhappy, very unmotivated, very unsuccessful. Be really careful what you do. Very, very careful. Literally, the more time you spend on YouTube, on social media, the less motivated you will be to do deep work. A lot of people are going to cope and are going to want to do this. But genuinely trying to help you here because I was a kid in a situation that was spending hours and hours and hours on social medias, hours and hours on video games, and I wasn't happy. At the end of this insane level of addiction, I was talking to my mom saying, I want to stop. This is genuinely making me very unhappy. I talked to her every, literally almost every evening when she was cooking about how I want to quit those addictions, change my life around, get on hard self improvement, holistic self improvement. She was supposed to go to another country afterwards. She went to Cameroon afterwards. Shortly, shortly later, I got on some improvement. She went to Cameroon. She stayed there for 10 months. I didn't see her for 10 or 8 months, I think. And then 8 months, I worked really hard. It was the 8 months, my first 8 months on self improvement. And when she came back to last summer 2022, I was a totally different man. I hadn't coldly gotten rid of all those addictions, but I had made so much progress. And when we talked about self improvement, when she came back, I was able to be totally present and focused with her. Talking to her with total present while she's cooking in the kitchen. This is not only about deep work, but it's also about your ability to just listen and give your attention to the people you love. So really take this seriously. This is not a joke. Another thing is embrace boredom in your day-to-day life. A lot of people, because of social media, because of overstimulation, constantly want to stimulate like themselves when they get bored. When you imagine this, when you're like in a waiting line, for example, or you have to sit in the airport and wait for something. What's your first reflex? Do you pick up your phone, go on social media instantly? I used to do that, but I'm really proud because I remember I went to Spain 3 weeks. Wait, it was I think yeah, around 2.5 weeks ago. I went to Spain, and the like when we were in the airplane to go into for to go like, in the airport here in Germany to go to Spain. I'm really proud because we had to wait for like literally 1.5 hours. And I saw my mother and my sister pick up their phone doing some random things. And my brother also picked up his phone, but then he also stopped. During the whole 1.5 hours, I just stayed there and allowed my brain to think. I embraced the boredom of the moment. And it wasn't that boring because I'm used to it. I just stayed there for 1.5 hours and just look at the hours and just let myself think. And sometimes just be in the present moment instead of constantly stimulating my brain with my phone through TikTok, Facebook, all this bullshit. So some people won't want to do this, but embrace boredom in your day-to-day life. Allow yourself to embrace boredom. Boredom is a normal feeling, and we don't let ourselves feel this feeling enough because we see it as something negative, something bad. When's the last time you allowed yourself to just sit there and think? Probably a long time. Embrace boredom. This will train you and help you like get through those hard deep work sessions. You know, when you really push yourself to a deep work session and try to push yourself to the limit of your mental capacity, there's gonna be a moment where it's gonna get really hard, really fucking hard. This work session I did yesterday morning was really hard. This deep work session, why not it's easy because I'm recording. When I'm recording, I'm always like in a kind of a flow state, so it's very easy for me. But when I'm gonna start scripting, it's gonna be something else. I'm gonna start scripting the next video. After recording this video, I'll probably have another hour, 1.5 hours of deep work. Scripting has always been this part of work that's always been like difficult for me. Like when I have to script for like literally 10 minutes, yes, chill. When I have to look at the script for 45 minutes, I don't script like word to word, but I research for my scripts. I really think deep about it. When I have to do it, it's difficult. It's fucking difficult. Sometimes it gets even boring. That because I know what boredom is and I allow myself to feel boredom on a daily basis, it's not surprising to me anymore. It's just something normal. Embrace boredom. It will get you through some because I promise you, I'm gonna talk about this later. Deep work is fucking difficult. It literally puts your mind. It's literally the thing that's gonna help you work to the limit of your brain capacity. Imagine training to failure with your body. That's what you do when you're doing deep work correctly. Training to failure with your mind. I like the analogy. I just created it, but it sounds really cool. Training to failure with your mind. That sounds fucking cool. Okay, next thing. Focus on your main task. Replying to emails is not a deep work task. I can literally reply to emails while eating or reply to emails while watching a video on YouTube or watching a movie on Netflix. A lot of people like to feel productive by doing some random tasks. I'm going to tell you an not improvised story. It's not in the script. I'm going to try to tell you a story. Try to see my storytelling skills are improved. So I'm in my room, sitting there. I'm sitting in my room. It's fall of 2023, and I'm sitting there talking to a man, to a being, a very smart being, probably one of the smartest beings in the entire world. And I feel really productive because this man is helping me, this being is helping me with my work. And I get a lot done. I'm talking to ChatGPT. And I've been doing this for 5 hours in my room. And I feel super productive. But all I've done is script 5 different videos into ChatGPT that I even, and I never recorded 75% of them. But I felt productive on that day. You see, doing all, if you if you found the story good, comment like leave like a comment and tell me it, because I just improvised it. And I'm really trying to improve my storytelling skills, as it's one of the most important skills as a YouTuber. That was really like, it wasn't bad because I hadn't planned it, the story. I just randomly told it. But don't just do a task because you might get a little bit benefit from it. Me talking to ChatGPT was helping me to literally get some scripts. I don't do it anymore. In the past, I used to get scripts on ChatGPT, video ideas and scripts, video titles, all those things, description. It was doing all those things for me. And I remember there was a week where I was spending around 5 hours a day talking to ChatGPT, feeling productive. Saying from, oh yeah, I work for 10 hours today. You know, out of 10 hours, 6 hours was spent talking to ChatGPT. And ChatGPT is a deep work task, my bro. Again, I can literally talk to ChatGPT while watching a movie at the same time. It feels productive. It generally does feel productive to work by talking to ChatGPT, but it isn't. Not, at least not for me, for my work. Is talking to ChatGPT gonna instantly? It's a task that generally will get me further to our goals. Not really. The scripts that ChatGPT was giving me, I literally trained it to the point where if I just give it the title, it's gonna instantly in 1 second give me a script. But firstly, the scripts I was giving me, I it was fucking annoying. It was always giving me some weird scripts, like I would just wish ChatGPT had my brain to make the scripts exactly like I do. Even when I trained it, it wasn't exactly like I wanted to. But yeah, talking to ChatGPT is not a lever moving task. I might get a little benefit from it, but this is the level moving task. This is like a high leverage task. Not really. A high leverage task for me, the highest leverage, highest ROI task for me is recording videos. So I focus entirely on that. Second one, and the only one I do besides recording videos, scripting videos. And the script video, I also research for the script. Even researching, I don't consider this for me as a work task. It's a work task, but I don't do it for my deep work. Right now, for the 3 hours of deep work, all I do, scripting, recording. I have to focus like that because there are many tasks you can do for your work. Probably meant I could be working on my channel logo right now, like Hamza likes to say. I could be going to thousands of other YouTubers trying to comment on their videos to get some attraction to my channel. I could do that. But is it really a high level moving task? Is it a high leverage task? Not really. The high leverage tasks for me are recording, scripting. So ask yourself, what's the greatest, highest leverage task for you? It's mostly one or a maximum of literally two. Sometimes, very rarely, it's like three. But most of the time, it's like one, two. The highest leverage task for me is recording. To make recording better, it's very good to have a good script. So literally, even the script is like part of making recording better. Making a script and recording are the main tasks of my day. I also have a block later on where I research for my videos. I learn from my videos, from my full guides. But I focus on this main task of recording. Don't just do a task like I said because you might get a benefit from it. Really ask yourself what's the highest leverage task for you. For a writer, it's literally writing. So if you were a writer, for example, take 3 hours to just write and do nothing else. It's really it. The next thing is probably the best productivity tactic I ever done with fasting. When I've combined fasting with this trick, I've been doing it recently and my productivity went through the roof. Through the roof. I still have 25 days of um, summer holidays, and with this level of productivity, I genuinely think that the progress I'm going to make on my business that I've never done made this. I will never make like I will make in the next sunny days, next few days, more progress on my business than I've ever done before. I've generally this level of confidence. So the principle of eat the frog, I learned this from Hamza. Eat the frog. I learned this really recently from Hamza. He talked about this in Adonai school, in the course he made in Adonai school, and he talked about this in one of his videos on discipline. So the principle of eat the frog is basically doing the hardest task of your day directly in the morning after waking up. So I think Hamza explained this in the video. It's basically if you had to eat a frog, when would be the best moment of the day to eat it? It wouldn't be later on at the end of the day. It would be at the start of the day. Because then at least you got this horrible meal done. You at least ate the frog that was still alive first in the morning. Now for the rest of the day you can eat the good, tasty meals. So you just apply the same thing to your work. I used to wait. I used to first work out, do all this thing, morning routine and everything before working, and I was so much less productive, so much more unproductive. When the time came to work, I was like, I didn't really feel like doing it. I thought much of doing it, about after 1 hour, I wasn't. It wasn't really producing much anymore. Since I've been now, I'm waking up early, 5 a.m. And the first 3 hours of my day are literally dedicated to working. And it's genuinely, believe me when I say this, genuinely, this and fasting are by far the best productivity tools. The best. My productivity has gone to the next level the last few days because I've been combining this with fasting. I wake up at 5 a.m., get out, make my bed, go to the toilet real quick, and yeah, go to the toilet real quick, put my clothes on, open the window, stare at the sun, or not directly at the sun, but at the sky for a few minutes, or 3 minutes exactly, close the window, turn on my laptop, start working for 3 hours. And I'm seriously impressed by how much I've been getting done recently. I'm seriously impressed. So wake up earlier, preferably while most people are still asleep. I'll tell you more about this a little bit in this section. And do the hardest task of your work. Do some focused deep work first in the morning on the hardest task of deep work. And later on the day, I have another 3 hour, a 3.5 hour block, 3 hour long block of learning, researching for my videos. And then at the end of the day, I have another um, 1 hour of deep work again at the end of the day. So I work for around 7 hours. If you include the learning, the researching for the videos I make, which I count as work. During this first 3 hour of deep work, it's generally the time where I get the most done. So really take it seriously. Wake up early, preferably while most people are still asleep. And I think that's just a beautiful feeling when you just awake and everyone is still sleeping. Promise me, I promise you, if you haven't tried it, you don't know it. You don't know how beautiful it is. When you wake up, everyone is still asleep and you start working on something hard or something. This feeling is just beautiful. I have this level of silence. My family are also asleep. Everyone, like, When I woke up, some people were like driving to work, but even the street is extremely silent. You're like you feel like you're the only one awake, and you're just doing grinding. By the time it's 10 a.m., I've gotten so much done. By 10 a.m., it's generally such a great feeling, but it's also overpowered because by the time you start working, you haven't like fried your brain with other things. You didn't get too much input for the outside world, so your brain is still so fucking fresh to work. I always wanted to like first work out and then work on my business. Do that in that order, and you will see your work in your business will be greatly, greatly, greatly reduced. Work hard on your business first, and then do the workouts, then do the rest. But first, work hard on your business. Your brain will never be as fresh as it is first thing in the morning while you're in silence and everyone's still asleep. And it's just so beautiful, so fun. So take this seriously. Start your day with the hardest, like your main task, doing deep work on your main task. It can be for 1 hour, it can be for 2 hours, it can be for 3 hours like me. The hardest, most cognitively demanding task, and you will be 1,000 times more focused. Hamza has a concept called brain points. It's basically that you wake up with a certain amount of brain points, and when you like literally, for example, check your phone first in the morning, you lose like 30 brain points. When you do another thing, you lose like a certain amount of brain points. And for your deep work, your deep work is probably the task that needs the most brain point of the day. And when you first do all those things, when then comes time to do deep work, you don't even have enough brain points to do it. Because deep work demands so much brain points. Save your brain points and use your brain points with your work first thing in the morning. And then you can relax a little bit more for the rest of the day. Then you can start doing a little bit of working out. Then you can start reading, doing all those tasks that are way easier. But start your day with your deep work, and you will just first you will feel just so relaxed throughout the rest of the day because you started your day with such a difficult thing. You'll feel so much more relaxed throughout the day. The little times that will pop up will seem very insignificant. And you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that super hard cognitive demanding task a little bit later on in the day because you started your day with that task. This and fasting are generally the tricks that take my deep work to the next level. The next thing is laser focus. Try to literally not look away from the screen when you're working. When I'm recording, it's like I'm talking to someone. I look a little bit away, I look a little bit left when I'm talking. When I'm scripting, I don't even allow myself to look away from the computer. When I want to like drink water, I literally do this movement here and drink like this. It's literally, I'm not even exaggerating. I don't look away from my screen. I don't know exactly how the scientific thing works, but I've just noticed when when I'm scripting and then I look away like this, I lose I lose a little bit of my focus, sometimes a lot. But when I just look straight at the things I need for my work, I don't look away. It's just I'm just in like in some type of trance, some type of flow. When I'm scripting, I don't really enter flow as much as when I'm recording, but sometimes it happens. It happens. So literally try not to look away from the thing that you need when working. First, literally not look away. It will greatly help with your focus. I promise you. I've tried it. I don't exactly know how it works. I don't exactly know how it works scientifically, but the scientists probably have an explanation for this. I literally put my water in the position where I can just pick it up while I'm while I'm scripting and drink it without looking away from my screen. To try and do something similar. Another thing that a lot of people watching this won't want to do this. Turn off your phone notifications. Turn off your phone notifications. If I was recording this video and I randomly heard my phone, I just heard my phone ringing. It it doesn't seem from most people don't understand how hard it is for your brain to focus on something or refocus on something or focus on something else while they were focusing on one thing. It's a lot harder than you think. When you imagine you're focusing on your work and then you hear your phone ringing, you hear a notification that you just got a message. It doesn't seem like it takes away from your focus, but just hearing that, it's gonna take your brain's gonna focus real quick on that thing, on the notification. And so I'm gonna explain you something. When you do deep work, for example, the first 10 minutes are the less focused ones because it takes a long time, like 10, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, for our brain to really enter a focus state. When you hear the notification, you kind of cancel out focus state. And it takes another 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes to focus back, to focus on your work again. Your toe should actually totally be focused again. So you're destroying your ability to do deep work. You're disrespecting yourself when you constantly let yourself get interrupted by all those things. You're destroying your ability to do deep work when you do that. So never dare to focus to do something else. When you do deep work, like I literally, if I like, I literally try to go pee, even if I don't want to, before doing deep work, because I know going to the toilet and then peeing while I'm doing my deep work session is gonna make me less focused. I'm gonna lose some more focus. So yesterday, I remember the last hour of deep work. I kind of wanted to go to the toilet. It wasn't extreme, but I kind of wanted to, but I didn't. I just stayed focused. Try to not interrupt your work to do something else. Stay focused. Being extremely focused on work on the main task will generally mean that you probably won't be able to do 8 hours. I'm currently doing like 4 hours of deep work per day. Like deep, I have another working session, like researching for my videos for 3 hours. So I work around 7 hours, but 4 hours of those 7 are really deep work. When I'm researching for videos, I don't necessarily use all the principles of deep work. I'm not necessarily forcing myself to be super focused and not look away from the screen. It's still deep work, but it's a little bit less deep. It's not really deep work anymore, it's just working. But I'm currently just doing 4 hours of deep work. And only those 4 hours are very cognitively demanding. If you really focus on the main task, the level moving tasks that are most likely very difficult, when you do that, you won't be able to. It's very unlikely that you'll be able to do it those hard deep work tasks in a deep work state for 8 hours a day. Very unlikely. Very, very unlikely. I'm currently doing 4 hours and it's difficult. It's really difficult. When I'm recording, it feels really fun. It feels very like relaxed. But when I'm scripting, it's very hard. Even recording, I wouldn't say it's easy mentally. It's just that I'm in a flow state I have a lot of fun when I'm recording. I have a lot of fun when I'm recording, so it doesn't really feel that much like work. But still, at the end of when I record for 1.5 hours, at the end of it, I'm a little bit drained mentally. Still, because it's still a deep work task, it's literally my most important task, and it's difficult. It's fucking difficult. So be laser focused, don't interrupt your work randomly. Have a little bit of respect for yourself. Literally. Next thing is embrace the discomfort. Fear is a sign that the man's at his edge. If you wake up scared because you know you have to do deep work first in the morning, then you're probably doing it right. I woke up this morning, got out of bed, looked at the sunlight, made my bed, put my clothes on, and I was genuinely a little bit scared. I wasn't like terrified or anything. I was like super terrified to the point where I was like my heart was beating super fast. No, but I was a little bit anxious because 3 hours of deep work is really pushed my brain to its limit, like close to its limit, and it's fucking difficult. It's as if you're preparing to get into a super hard workout. It's something very similar. A super hard workout for your brain. And but embrace the discomfort because it's a sign that you're at the edge. If I get to a level where those out 3 hours of deep work are not making me even a little bit anxious anymore, where I just look forward to those 3 hours of deep work, there's a sign for me that I have to make it even harder for me. Maybe do a deep work for now 4 hours or 5 hours in the morning, or do something a little bit differently. Fear is seen as such a bad thing. But while reading this amazing book, of Experiment, I've been understanding that fear is just a sign that you're at your edge. You are outside of your comfort zone. And your growth is always optimized when you're leaning beyond your comfort zone. You'll make the most progress on your business, on your fitness, on every aspect of your life when you just slightly lean outside of your comfort zone. So if you always like look forward to do your deep work, if you always look forward to do your deep work and don't at least feel sometimes a little bit anxious, you might not be doing it right. You're not pushing yourself. It's as if you were looking forward to every single workout, even though you're training super, super, super hard for failure. I enjoy working out, but still, before a workout, when I know I'm going to train really just failure, do some hard exercises, I'm anxious. It's the same thing with deep work. Where you do this right, your brain will like in the middle of it. When I'm scripting for like a long time, when I'm recording, it doesn't happen. But when I'm scripting for a long time, my brain begins to cope. It's like, oh yeah, you can do it later on. You can do it. No, 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 don't do it. We can do something else. We can go on YouTube and research it. Our brain starts to cope. I just listen to it. It will happen when you do some hard, cognitively demanding tasks. This morning, I thought about not doing this deep work session. I thought about it, but I still did it at the end. Something to keep yourself accountable. Make a habit tracker. I have a habit tracker like this. So at 5 a.m., I have 5 a.m. here, the first thing in my habit tracker, and I have sunlight, and I have eat the frog, and I got meditation, and I got cold shower, and I got DDB. It's like DDB is like double deep breaths. It's like physiological side. It's like a breathing method to decrease stress and everything. So this is basically my morning routine. When I wake up, so this morning when I woke up at 5 a.m., I checked the box for 5 a.m. When I look at the sun for a few minutes, I check the box. I'm doing the eat the frog part right now. Eat the frog. So keep myself accountable. If I didn't do the deep work right on today, I wouldn't have been able to check the box. When I'm finished with the deep work, I'm gonna check the box for eat the frog. So keep yourself accountable through those things and like habit tracker, all those things. It's very powerful. If I didn't have like eat the frog on my habit tracker, I may have missed this deep work session today. So accept the pain and discomfort. It's just part of the process. It means that you're doing it right. Another section is taking breaks. When doing deep work for more than 1.5 hours, you might need a break. It might generally be way better even if you think you can push on. I can do deep work for 3 hours straight. I could generally do that. But my deep work is optimized when I take a break after 1.5 hours for like 10 minutes and then do more deep work afterwards. It's generally optimized. I tried going just 3 hours straight, but it's a lot better when I just take that little 10-minute break after my first 1.5 hours of deep work. After we go in this video, I'm going to take that 10-minute break and then go to scripting. So if you do deep work for more than 1.5 hours, just don't take a little break. But when I say break, I don't do bullshit during that break. Don't go like eat a meal. It's like stupid. Don't go eat a meal during that break. Don't like go on TikTok or on your phone during that break. Don't play video games during that break. Obviously not. During that break, what I do is I literally just stare at my ceiling. I put the timer on. I stare at my ceiling and think. That's literally what I do. Or I do some breathing exercises during that time. That's literally all I do. So during that break, literally just think. Just think. Or if you really want to just listen to relaxing music, you can do that. I just think. Literally just think. And it just helps refresh your brain again. It helps. When I do deep work for a long time, it kind of gets difficult. And when I take that little break, I can go back refreshed again. Like not totally fresh, my brain's still a little bit fried, but I'm a lot more prepared for the second part of deep work. And something I can tell you real quick that I learned from energy women or scientists is that your brain works kind of in, I don't know if it says your brain or your body, but I think your brain works in kind of like 90-minute cycles. So the best time to do deep work or the longest time to do deep work is like 90 minutes. The best, like it's the best duration he says for deep work. So I do my 90 minutes and then I take a break and then I do mostly like 60 minutes again or 90 minutes again, I would say, yeah. That's basically it. So I just learned from the room that your brain kind of works in like those 90-minute cycles. The last part is, oh, my throat is like dry. Last part is stay consistent. Like I said, put it into your habit tracker, like I do. My habit tracker I have usually 5 a.m. So when I wake up at 5 a.m., I check the box. Sunlight, when I look at the sunlight, I check the box. Eat the frog, what I'm currently doing, my deep work. And when I'm finished at 8 a.m., I will check the box. Then I will meditate, check the box. Go shower, check the box. Breathing, breath work, check the box. Then do some things like that. And something very important, always have a specific time for a deep work. Don't just randomly do it when you feel like it. If you do that, it's not like going to the gym. If you do that for deep work, you will generally like you won't be consistent at all. Some people can be consistent with the gym without having it planned, even though they will still be way more consistent, perform way better if they planned it in the day. But just planning your day in advance is so powerful, especially for the hard tasks like deep work. I know exactly before this hour, you know exactly when I do my deep work. I know from 5 to 8 a.m. I have deep work, and I know from 6 to 7 p.m. I have deep work. So there isn't like a debate in my head about, oh yeah, should I do it at 5 or should I do it at 4? The me from the past already planned it for me. So there's no debate. I have to do it. I know I have to do it, even when I don't feel like it. When time comes, I do it. That's gonna help you to be way more focused and consistent. Something with deep work is if you do it only like once every few months, every few weeks, every few days, it's like the gym. You won't get any results. It's when you genuinely like no for deep work, okay, in 1 hour of 2 hours, 3 hours of deep work, I can get a lot done. If I then miss deep work for a few days, maybe, but I will still get a lot of more results if I do it consistently for a few days, every day. That's when the results are gonna truly be amazing. I haven't gotten those results yet, but I know they're coming. And you put this amount of focus work in, at some point you're gonna be forced to get results. The work is a skill you have to improve at. In the beginning, you might just be able to like 1 hour of really deep work, and then you have to stop, and then you start to get less focus. But like going to the gym, it's a skill. Like all the things in life, it's a skill that you can improve on. Maybe in the beginning you only be able to do 1 hour of really deep work, but then in a few months you'll be able to do 4 hours, 5 hours of deep work. That's how it works. It's a skill that you improve at. But the more you do it, and the more you improve your mindfulness, the more you improve your sleep, and the more you improve your diet, the better you get at it. It's a skill you'll improve at. And I really hope you improve at this skill because it's like one of the most important skills you can have nowadays. Your ability to focus is so important. Your ability to do deep work is so important, especially if you're a knowledge worker. So take this seriously. Deep work, if done correctly and consistently, can genuinely change your life. So yeah, hope you got value from this video. If you got value from this video or yeah, found enjoyed it, I would greatly appreciate it if you shared the video through like DMs or to someone or like group chats. It will greatly help me, and will probably also help the person that will receive this video. That's the way you can help me. If you want to get some free coaching with me, 1 hour free coaching with me, you can click the link in the description. Don't worry for discomfort. Wait, don't run away from discomfort. Chase it.